Here's the Railroad Tycoon custom map. Victorian Railways. Victoria Railways. It's a great state, but its transport is in a terrible state. Just us. Let's go have a look. A land of rich resources and great natural beauty, but also of terrifying bushfires, devastating droughts, and the usual plague of self-serving, narrow-minded politicians. Your task: build a rail system that will develop the state. Melbourne is the capital and economic hub. Your success is measured in number of loads carried between Melbourne and other centres, territories and interstate. Loads are scored by distance, so those travelling long distances are worth more than those nearby. 60 points for gold, 75 for silver, 30 for bronze, 30 years. Your company must be debt-free to win. Check the status page for your annual report to see how you're going. As the company variables don't seem to cope with fractions, you won't get any points until you've passed a threshold for each. For Geelong, the threshold is about 44. For Sydney, it's about 4. Be patient. It's important to develop country Victoria, the part outside the territories. This will be the source of most of your raw material. So let's have a look. What's Sydney got? One port, which makes sugar, and a cattle thing. Something's wrong. Oh, really? Yeah, this is probably going to crash everything.
How about now? Test, test, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah. Last time I did that, it crashed. And why did it change back? I never changed that setting back. Anyway. So Sydney. Cow processing and sugar. As well as one townhouse. In Parramatta. Melbourne, the actual target. Grain, sugar and produce to alcohol. There's a nearby barracks, so we should be able to dump that alcohol at least somewhere. There's another one down here. Geelong, I've been here for a conference. It's at least one city big. Pulpwood, are there any logs nearby? There are some logs, and there's a log processor as well. What about the things that the alcohol thing wants? I've seen more grain be nearby. What about produce? There we go. Produce is easy to get into here. Now, what other locations are, we can work on the high-speed project? Sydney and Melbourne don't deserve high-speed rail. I have a friend who lives in Melbourne. He moved there. He's actually having his first kid come the end of the year. There we go. Well, it can be his rail. We'll go with that one. So let's have a look at the map and see what other locations trigger. So there's Bendigo. Maybe by the time the child grows up, it'll be able to take the train. We've got Ballarat, Geelong, Melbourne, Regional Victoria, Orbost? Now that city I do not know. Orbost? I have never been here or heard of this before in my life. Echuca, I've spent many a holidays here. grandma on Dad's side lived here. So most Christmases and Easters, I'd go visit this. There's beautiful paddle steamers, the classic steamboat paddle steamers here. It's a beautiful place. Go for bushwalks, fishing. Unfortunately, there's not enough passengers to be an actual city, which is a bit of a kick in the teeth. Bendigo's big enough. To my eye, starting Bendigo, Melbourne looks the most reasonable. How lumpy is it? Thankfully not as lumpy as the East Coast mountain ranges. Although this doesn't feel lumpy enough. Wagga Wagga. Ballarat's also big enough. The trouble is Melbourne's only like as big as one of the regional cities as well. It's only got 4 houses. Oh. We should start in Chinaman's Knob? I guess we're allowing the turn Chinaman's, as long as people aren't rude about it. That's about the best we can get there. I really do wish Echuca had 4, but it doesn't. How are we gonna ship stuff out of Melbourne? Maybe it's ship stuff too? No, it's loads between Melbourne and elsewhere. That's a bit tough to do if it's only got one... If it's only got one business. So you know what? We're gonna do ye old roll 3 maps, play 1. We've looked at our first map. Let's roll our second version. Yeah, Melbourne's an okay place to live, Rainy. They've got an obsession with having their suburban streets, no left-hand, no right-hand turns. Other than that, Melbourne's pretty okay. Can't recommend Sydney. Lived there for 2 years. Can't recommend. People are a bit self-absorbed. Yeah, this is better. Now we got 2 things. But even that's only a port. It's not a business. That's better than the last spawn. Echuca's even worse. This is the same. This is the same. Actually, that would work kind of well. This produces sugar, which we can deliver to itself and then take out as alcohol. Okay, let's save that as our second map. And last roll before we have to pick one. This one's even worse. Melbourne's got no businesses. Although it has an extra house instead. We're definitely not picking that one. No, I think this first one wins. It's got 6 houses. Okay. So where are we going to take you? We said Bendigo looks fairly reasonable. Is there nearby iron? And that's not the furthest away. What about produce? Unfortunately distant. What about grain? Unfortunately distant. What about sugar? Life is rough here. We are going to need to drag in inner grain to Melbourne to ship back out as alcohol. So sad that you don't have a real... amount of people. That looks good. That's 2 producers and a grain for yoinking down into alcohol land. So we probably come here and then split. I do want to capture the army base, so we'll chuck it there. Oh, that hill is not going to be fun. But even following the coast, it doesn't look like it gets rid of it. Like following the river. 6-4, but it does turn the 6s into a bunch of 3s. That's barely a gain, but... So what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But that would be perfectly flat, versus this way's... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 3 of them are worse. No. I think we're gonna... Rare is it that I say this, but we are going to accept the path that goes zigzaggy for once. Well, not like that, I'm not. That one's fairly good. So is that. That's not too bad. See, I'm very worried about that 4.5 on the left. That one wins. Now, I surely don't need to buy access to these things. Good. No, we don't. Bet a loan, man. Grab a loan. Unfortunately, if I put it where I want to, it's going to get in the way of getting that logging without a zigzag, but I guess we just have to live with the fact that it has a zigzag. Okay, there's one. And the other one was going to be Bendigo. Let's look at getting the rail over there first. That honestly looks pretty sweet. Okay, there's a couple of twos, but other than that... So many turns here, but it's necessary. Okay. Whew. What do we start with access to? We start with the Americans. They're like... not quite twice, but nearly twice as fast as the stuff that comes before. They're the clear and obvious choice. I'm going to want at least one that goes to here and one that goes to here. So let's grab those two. Melbourne, Ballarat, yes. Perfect, except that you're going to Bendigo. And you start at the wrong end. Which means that the other one can have all of them. Give you your salon and post office. Give you your saloon and post office. And that's all that we got money for. Now, personal money doesn't matter, so might as well issue stock like there's no tomorrow. And use that to make one more post office. And one more saloon. Done. And we hope that this isn't so distant that they run out of water on the way there. What I probably end up doing is sticking a little watering station here. I forgot to turn off the dividend because I'm an idiot. We're seeing the effect of... What? That was not 4 when I planned that. Yo! Not cool. That was a 2. Shenanigans. Yeah, nah. Let's... I don't mind redoing that. If that's the game's gonna lie to us. What the hell happened? So let's do that again. Done. Now Ballarat. And Bendigo. Loan. Stock. Station 1. Station 2. This time we're going to build our little watering one first. American one. 1, 2, 3, 4, mail, done. And on the other end, passenger dining, passenger dining, mail. Everyone gets a saloon and a post office. And that's all we can afford to start. Have a look at who we've got. Probably should have hired this guy. Oops, oh well. Guess I'll hire him now and feel like an idiot. Okay, so what was last time 4 turns is now 2. That's a significant improvement, and it's lying again! When we planned that, those were not 4s. See, look! 3s! Okay, there we go. Now it's happy with itself. Good. We're even going to have trouble with those, but at least it's not a 4. Naughty game. Send a bug report? God, I wish. Imagine if there was no milk bug. Looks like I maybe overestimated how much they would be using water. On the other hand, it means that I can get away with only building one water thing here instead of one at either end for a while. No point taking the troops. The Melbourne Zephyr. Sure. Double check that's all good. Restaurant. You can have a sanding now. And of course the game punishes me for building my small restaurant by immediately giving me access to the large restaurant. At least small restaurant isn't a big cost. But yes, we spent some money, but these guys will be earning slightly more money for their trip and then we'll replace it. Ding, ding, ding. Large restaurant. Hotel. Large restaurant. Hotel. If we can afford our maintenance bay. Otherwise, I suspect... Yeah, look, that's almost out of sand. He says as it's literally out of sand. Still, at least we made actual money this year. We absolutely must yoink the sugar out. And the extra passenger. The other sugar has apparently dissolved while we were waiting. This makes me sad. You seemingly need your own sand as well. I'd rather err on the side of caution. Beautiful. I forgot to replace your little hotel with a big one, because I'm an idiot. But otherwise, we're all good. Then what? What is the next reasonable expansion? We're already using up all of Melbourne's passengers. We could do Melbourne's troops to here. Only one troop a year. And it's a lot of bridges. On the other hand, there's nothing saying it has to be nice bridges. As long as all they were doing is one troop, we could go like that. And just run the troop end to end. There's 2 sheep farms here near Geelong that we should absolutely use. So what? Sheep, Geelong up to here. It's a bit of a circuitous route to get to Melbourne, but it would let us deliver goods to these 2. I feel like I remember attending some sort of sheep-related museum thing here. I'm fairly certain I visited some sort of sheep museum-ish thing there. You apparently need water. Start saving up the sheep. Maybe do the same on this side. You are going to take alcohol back. Okay. That's probably about as good as it's getting. And we're too poor. We don't care about stock, so we'll turn stock into money. Build the little cross connectors. Slow down. I need 100k to build Geelong. So once Melbourne dings, we'll build Geelong and then start delivering the sheep to it. Beautiful. This is going to need everything. Because the wool delivery one isn't going to go anywhere else. Wool to here, wool to here. That is your life forever. We definitely need to double track that little bit. This bit can stay single for the moment. Then I need to double track this, and we should transfer it into being Ballarat, Geelong, Melbourne, Bendigo, because I get more points for Melbourne, Bendigo than I get Melbourne, Ballarat. And Melbourne, Ballarat can be just the sugar. Speed up. We need the next ding. How heavy are goods related to other things at the moment? Not quite twice as heavy. They are. Wool is twice as heavy, though. Ding, ding, ding. Alright. Start in Geelong. You, friend, are now only ever sugar. It's a boring life, I know, but c'est la vie. Slightly too poor for that, so we'll do it the cheesy way. Money goes further when you cheese. Alright, so got one express here, one express here, one doing sheep to Geelong, and we need to deliver those sheep out, other than to Ballarat. That 3 is going to be a bit murderous. Do we mind explaining the cheese? No, it's not that hard to do. So if you... I need to have some money. You're going to have to wait till, like, the Bendigo train comes in and I have some money, though. So we'll speed up. Good. And then Bendigo. There we go. Okay, so how does the cheese work? If I drag this... Let me put it on bendy mode. If we drag this here and then here... And then here... To cover 1, 2, 3 bits of tile, I'm paying for 4 tiles, right? You can see it says costs 4. There's a 6k cash above the first tile, then a 7 above the second, then a 7 above the third, and then a 3 above the fourth. If you change it to this mode, I would only need to use 2 put-down tiles to cover the same space. By chaining together single tiles, you get the tile in the middle for free, and so you save approximately 50% on your double tracking. It's just very tedious to do. Extremely micro-intensive. Every other one gets skipped in terms of cost, but it still produces full double track. Okay, and now we need one that goes here, 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 here. You wait for 2, you take it there, you wait for 2, you take it there. And we want one that does the same thing to Melbourne. But it can go all the time, because Melbourne deserves more love. He says, trying not to giggle. Yeah, and you're not going to carry goods ever again. You only ever carry the passengers. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that to start. Where will we connect up next? We could do the troops thing. Where else counts? Melbourne, Geelong, Ballarat, Bendigo, Echuca counts. Wodonga. Albury, Wodonga. Swan Hill. That's Australian, isn't it? South Australia. Orbost. Can we starve Canberra? And Mildura and SA, as well as Sydney. So there's Bordertown that we had in the other map. And here's Mount Gambier that we had in the other map. Maryborough. Ararat. My mind says what I should focus on is grain and or produce and or sugar. So getting up to here makes a lot of sense. And it's not exactly a lot further from where we already were in Bendigo. And no, you can't kill cities by not feeding them. You could blow them up. We could spend money to blow up Canberra. It's 4 houses and a military base. Okay, where did we want the house? House. The city. The station. It's gonna have to zigzag to get there. Actually, could we... That might work. Yes, please. Oh, so close, but it needs a zigzag here as well. I thought we'd be doing that with one turn. No such luck. Oh, well. Now. Standing water, absolutely. You take 2 grain. I'm willing to bet alcohol is hideously... Yeah, alcohol is hideously heavy at the moment. So just bring 1 out. A second one that does produce. And brings 1 out. And a third one that does produce. But doesn't take it anywhere. Done. I'm sure that there's some Aussies that'll help reduce the alcohol weight. Just maybe. I've only got 1. Okay, you've got 2, but you're just being silly. Okay, so that's going to help our deliveries out of Melbourne. We're going to need to deliver it to Ballarat and Geelong, but I want to wait for them to actually get some deliveries saved up before I buy those trains. To deliver the alcohol, other than the ones returning it to Bendigo. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, done. It looks like that's being pretty perfect. The sugar isn't wasting away in port. A drought hits Victoria. Music's American Midwestern. You want it to start reciting The Man from Snowy River at you? Is that what you want? There was movement at the station, for the word had passed around that the colt from Old Regent had got away. Had joined the wild bush horses and was worth £1,000. And so all the cracks had gathered to the fray. All the tried and noted riders from the stations near and far had mustered at the homestead overnight. For the bushmen love hard riding where the wild bush horses are, and the stock horse snuffs the battle with delight. Just the 3. Yeah. We are keeping up with the wool production pretty much perfectly. I should recite poetry for a living. I'd prefer to be a singer, honestly. Bendigo, Ballarat, we're doing alright. How far along is our grain one? I'm going to say we need 2 copies. Not of you, of the grain thing, thank you. And then 1 more for the produce. And then we're going to want 2 delivering alcohol, 1 to Geelong and 1 to Ballarat. Whoa, friend, how can you have no... Oh. I understand how you can have no water. Fair enough. Sanding water this side as well. And that means that it's not insane to give this a roundhouse. And neither is it insane to get that one for the ones that are travelling back up to the farms out nearby Echuca, like Grandma used to have. Actually, I don't know if their farm was near Echuca. I assume their farm was near here. This is where they settled down after giving up farming. I know they had a farm previous to that. I'm not sure where. I suppose I could ask Dad. You are never to touch goods again. You are a passenger express train. I thought I gave this... I did not give this sanding, so let's fix that as well. We kind of want a second one of these, because else we're not extracting fully from Melbourne. It's crazy to think that these 4 mail cars are just barely the same as a single alcohol car. Now, do we make a bridge to shorten this route? Probably yes. So, let's shorten the Geelong-Melbourne trip. That's going to much speed up the delivery of goods to Melbourne. And it's much going to speed up the delivery of alcohol to Geelong. Then we want one that delivers alcohol to Ballarat. And then we're all good. Sit and let the money roll in for a bit. What we used to start up our Barbie. So, The traditional thing you get to start up your Barbie here is called Start Ya Bastard. No joke. It's, barbecue accelerant, and the brand is called Start Ya Bastard. It's about as quintessentially Aussie as you can get. Ding, ding, ding. There's only 2 to take. Then what do we add next? We still would like to use those troops. Have we got any other weird companies? Or brands? That's the one that springs most easily to mind. Dick Insider? Nah. That's the one that comes to mind first. Start your bastard. It's a pity that I can't cover both Dandenong's houses and the troops there. How much are troops worth? Oh, there are no troops. So it wouldn't matter if I connected the troops, I'm not allowed to move them. Fair enough. So it's pointless trying to do what I was thinking about doing there. Well, what else could we do? The troops are there to get drunk. Yeah, they are to help absorb some of the alcohol. Keep alcohol desire here nice and high. Kerrang. We could move cows to Kerrang to deliver to everywhere. Mount Gambier isn't worth connecting. Ugh, neither is Bordertown. None of these are worth connecting. That's really rough. They should at least have 4 houses. Well, sucks to be me. Where was the other one? This weird thing. Orst. I'd never heard of this before. It's not worth connecting. Sydney is. We got nowhere near enough money to do Sydney. What is the milk bug? Okay, we can explain that. It's fairly easy. You see these numbers in the demand column at the bottom? Demand, mail at 6, lumber at 4, milk at 4, goods at 4, food at 7. That tells you how much the city wants something. How much they want it is a multiplier on how much they will pay you. 4 is the normal amount. So if it wants something at 4, it will pay you that much plus the distance modifier. Because you get paid to hold more distance. If it's above that number, so the 7 here, this city is willing to pay more than the going rate for food. This city is willing to pay a lot more than the going rate for troops. And everything else is at least normal. If we go to, say, over here... No? Okay, if we go, say, to Geelong, that might not actually want as much wool. Yeah, we've suppressed this. We're supplying Geelong here with so much wool that they say, I'm not willing to pay full price for wool. Supply and demand. The market is supplying me with so much wool that I'm not willing to pay much. Now, the way it works is cities want, depending on how big they are, so this has got 1, 2, 3 sets of houses, so it wants lots of things. It wants sugar and coffee and milk and goods, whereas if you go to the cities that are out here that only have 2 sets of houses, it doesn't quite want as much stuff. It goes up like 2, 6, and 8, or whatever, the number of houses, the amount of stuff, like for every pairs of houses, 2, then 6, 2, then 4, then 8 pairs of houses, the stuff that the city demand goes up and up and up. The way it works is this wool demand at the start of next year, so if we watch this, October, when it gets to the start of next year, it will probably go up to 3. If this one hasn't delivered before then. Which it looks like it's definitely going to do. So that 2 is probably going to go to 0. No, actually still 2, surprisingly. But then the year will tick over, and it should probably tick up to 3. Deep in the forests of East Gippsland, nestled the town of Orbost. The folks around there make a living from logging and grazing, but they have a problem getting their goods to market through the miles of rainforest. They're willing to kick in for a connection. How does 100k and 3 bonus points sound? Like, not enough. And it didn't actually go up. Alcohol 1. Oh, I should have shown it off with alcohol. But, supply... Well, demand resets, not fully, but partially at the end of each year for goods. Except, milk is bugged. Once you supply a city with milk, it never wants milk again. Which means that it's kind of pointless setting up a milk connection. The only way it's useful to set up milk is if there is a milk processing center that turns milk into food, but it looks like we're too early in the timeline for there to be any, and it's only the cities at the moment. We're all good. Asks how many they want. No, it's a multiplier thing. So it isn't like I want 6 passengers at the moment. It's I'm willing to pay at a multiplying rate of 6. Now, what are we going to expand into? We were thinking about Keyrang. And that would actually work fairly well. The grain can come to these cows. The cows can come back to Keyrang. And then all the way down. Unfortunately, that zigzag hurts a little bit to everywhere else for food. Okay, and then here. And then can we get both of these in one? Beautiful. It looks like we can even make it perfectly in line with the grain. Aussie milk. It's everywhere's milk. Everyone in this game is lactose intolerant, Rainy. All the citizens in this game are lactose intolerant. Let's issue some more bonds, pay off the bad one, issue some stock, turn that into double track. Sanding water, yes. We need one here. And we need the one here. Now we would want it to turn into food as soon as possible because the cows are much heavier than food. That's as good as it gets. And now we're going to segregate this? Probably yes. So, one of you that does nothing but take 2 of these, deliver it here. That is your entire life. Another one of you that does nothing but take cows to there. Probably 2, but we'll see. We probably need 2 doing those cow deliveries. We'll see after the first grain one. Or we could have it fetch grain on the way back. Yeah, you know what, we'll have it fetch grain on the way back. We're going to need to move 10 cows a year and 2 grain, which is that, and... Oh. You know what? Let's delete it and say it's that. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please wait. 1, 2, 3. Nothing. Head here. You must wait for that. Just like this guy must wait for that one. Yeah, see you, Rainy. Okay, this starts getting turned into an infinite amount of food cow. Melbourne is busy enough that we would like telegraph poles, a maintenance house, and water. One more, please. Lovely, thank you. Greensboro offers a bonus. Do I care? Not sure I care. I mean, technically that's easy to do. Maybe one day. Now we want to earn some more money. The Iron Duke starts to exist. Does the red lines mean it's not full and green means it's good? Here, the color is associated with how much of their maximum speed they have. So this one's only traveling at 9 miles an hour, as you can see on the little speedometer here, and so it's red colored. How far the bar along is how close to its, like how far along its route it is. This is currently going from Melbourne to Echuca. It's at about the midpoint, so the bar is about midway along. If we go and look at this guy, who's going from here to Keyrang, he's closer to Keyrang than this, so his bar is mostly done. If we go look at this guy, who's only just left Keyrang, his bar's only a little bit done because he's much further away from Keyrang than he has left Maryborough. So it's color equals speed, amount of bar equals how close to where it's trying to get to. This place is also probably busy enough to deserve telegraph poles. You are right about the green being good, though. Green equals speed equals good. High speed. Right, so this thing is rocketing down the hill at maximum speed. It's highest speed is nominally with three cars. It's only supposed to be going about 32, 36. It's going 37, so it shows nice and green. Time to start delivering that food. Now, do we use the Iron Dukes? They are so much faster. They're like 50% faster, but they're twice as expensive. I'm going to live without the Iron Dukes for a while. Water there. Water there. Water there. And then we'll have one that only deals with delivering stuff to Melbourne. So the outer cities can get equal treatment to each other, but then Melbourne gets biased treatment. There's 5. Grab all 5. Pay off that loan. Maybe have a look if half-price Fuel Man is available. Alas, no. Where did we download the map? Boom! Oh. Shit! There we go. There are a couple of community websites. The most convenient thing I've found is that has aggregated them all into essentially a single zip file. All the maps we've been playing this last week have been ones aggregated from those various sources. Investors are excited. We've currently got 2 points. Keyrang is about to ding again. Just the one on Bendigo end. There we go. Now we need our Melbourne one. So here to Melbourne. Grab 4. Go. Gonna wait for this guy. Yes, good, excellent. Now, there are some logs nearby. The ability to turn those logs into lumber, and the ability to turn the pulp into paper. One day I might want those other things. I'll pay that little bit extra. Beautiful. It's a bit unfortunate that it has to make the turn like that, but what are you going to do? It shouldn't have problems going here, back with sanding and water. So we go 3 logs, turn into lumber, take to Melbourne. 3 logs, turn into lumber, take to Geelong. 3 logs, turn into lumber, take to Bendigo. 3 logs, turn into lumber, take to Ballarat. And that is your life. Okay, and then we want pulpwood to paper. If Melbourne is capable of eating paper. It is not. Melbourne is too small. Nowhere wants to eat paper. Rip. Well, at least we got the logs out of this. Now, the port is probably making reasonable money. So is this alcohol place, no doubt. So is this sheep factory. And so are these two sheep farms, if I had to guess. You do not need more goods. You actually could use more goods. But you're about to have more goods delivered. So no, that's fine. And Melbourne's probably saturated. Yeah, Melbourne is saturated. It needs more food, admittedly. Speed up one. Apparently, you need 2. You know what? You can have 2 as well. That's causing issues. Then we'll buy these 2 sheep farms. Geelong is oversupplied with alcohol, but such is the cost of making Melbourne a alcohol mecca. I'm a little bit concerned that you're going to run out of sand like that, so fine. You can have more sand. You can't have more sand. Money went away. You're just going to have to make it up the hill. Do-do-do. Root. We need that extra mail. Still looks good. And the mail. Now, if this is getting this busy, it might actually be worth having 2 stations. One to service this, and a second one to service the outer areas. I'll watch a little bit more. It doesn't look too bad yet. Get our second food delivery one. And maybe a third. No, because this one's about to depart for its second food delivery, and it's not ready yet. So 2 and 1 looks fine. We're going to buy sheep farm, alcohol thing. Good. Looks like you'll just be good for logs by the time we get back. We could at least transport this across for the sake of earning the paper. Not that we're going to take the paper anywhere. How heavy is it? Not that heavy yet. Eventually pulpwood becomes one of the heaviest things. Good enough. Alright. I am kind of tempted to save up and just connect straight to Sydney as our next thing. The question is, what would I replace the Bendigo connection with? I need a city with 4 houses. Could maybe stretch out something. No, it's slightly too long. Where else? This. Mildura? Bendigo can instead become Bendigo to Mildura. If there's no passengers to take, please just take a set of alcohol. Economy crashes isn't great. Yeah, I think it'll be fine with it, lumber. Awkward, especially when there's 100 million things behind you waiting for you. And you'd literally just been through a maintenance bay. The first Melbourne food delivery. $500,000. Gotta feed the troops. Cotton growers in New South Wales are anxious to develop their markets. If you can haul 10 loads of cotton, you will earn 5 bonus points. Bit of a waste of water, all the cotton they grow out here, truthfully. Let's get an estimate on how much it will be to connect across to Sydney. Just a ballpark figure. 2 million. 3 million. Probably like 6 million. Definitely the cow processing plant as well. How much do you want lumber? Please say you still want lumber a reasonable amount. You do. So you know what? We're going to shortcut this a bit. Have it to deliver the closest one. And then start its loop again. Just so that we get ahead of the log production. Yeah, it all looks good so far. Speed up. I want to get up to that, what was it, about $6 million? And there's no reason not to be issuing stock at all the time. I should have bought up what I could first so that I inflated the stock price and got more money for it. I'm not used to seeing pulpwood accelerate like that. Normally pulpwood is horribly slow. Okay, you can change to doing these 3 like your brother. And we just have one dedicated one doing Melbourne now that Melbourne's been oversupplied. Melbourne's demand for food is down to 2. These ones still have 4. I'd rather have 2 running the Bendigo, Ballarat, Geelong triplet rather than 2 running the Melbourne singlet. And good, we're ahead of the curve on the logs now. Let's check out track building, man. Bridges 40% cheaper is no... You know what, I think we buy you. We maybe loan up and connect over to Sydney. Once the economy recovers such that we aren't being given 11% loans. Now, the cities actually still want produce. It's not hard to add in that produce. So, produce Ballarat. Produce Geelong. And then produce Bendigo isn't worth it because it's travelling down right to go back, like, it's travelling 5 times the, well, 5 times, probably 3 or 4 times the length of the direct path between the two, so I don't think that's worth. But the other 2 will be worth. That also means that this section of track now needs doubling, else the produce and logging trains can run into each other. It looks like we're getting a little bit behind on our extracting of grain from there. Yeah, he's not that far behind. He'll be okay. Speed up. Victoria, hit by Pilozera? A deadly vine disease that slashes production. Can't say I remember having heard of that before if I have. Sounds like an MTG card. Pitosis. Phthisis. Pyrexia. Just grab 2 alcohol. When it mutates into TikTok disease. 11. Good enough. Maybe in the future. Grab 2 more. Four points. And what was the goal? 30 for bronze. We had 30 years. What was our start year? We've already used a third of our time and earned nowhere near a third of the points. I think even though the economy's in the shitter, I might have to accept these stupidly bad loans. I'll give it one more year. There we go. Economic recovery. Yes, we'll buy you. There's just not that much freight that we can haul, Dark, because this doesn't have 2 manufactories. There's not that many manufactories. If there was 2 manufactories here, we spawned 3 goes and there was only ever 1. 1 in the port at best. Okay, loan time. You don't get pay... The demand goes to 0, so they pay you basically nothing. They don't pay you literally nothing, but they pay you next to nothing. So... I was going to connect something to replace Bendigo. But I think we just jumped straight to Sydney. Yeah, that's probably about the best. I don't think it cares about deliveries to Melbourne, Dark Player. The way this is worded is it sounds like it's only deliveries out of Melbourne. Maybe I'm misunderstanding? But the way this is worded... the number of loads carried between Melbourne and other places. Not between other places and Melbourne. That is beautiful that that gets to be one straight. Wugga Wugga can replace Bendigo. So now it's going to be Wugga Wugga Bendigo. It's a bit awkward. I guess that's okay. Not that I ever expect to actually use that, but it's there in case we need it. Now it's you, and we should probably put one here. And even then, what would I haul? Like, I'm already delivering food, and goods here, and lumber, and produce. There's no troops. I am delivering alcohol. Maybe we could make Ichuka food? To deliver down as well? We could change the cows to being processed in Swan Hill. Maybe that's better than Kerrang, which isn't on the list. Yeah, I'll accept that criticism. So we're changing the way you work, friend. You deliver to Swan Hill. So do you. We sell this one. Probably in a year or so, we buy that one, and we change the food pickups. They now pick up from... oh, sweet Jesus, this is going to be tedious. You're headed to Geelong. Swan Hill, Bendigo, Swan Hill, Ballarat, Swan Hill, Geelong. You are headed to Geelong. Swan Hill, Bendigo, Swan Hill, Ballarat, Swan Hill, Geelong. There. So at the end of this year, we sell that, and we cry about having lost profit. We continue our way across to Sydney after building one more maintenance thing. So we've got one here. We probably need one about there then. Then we probably need one approximately here. I'd rather have too many than too few. That looks fantastic. Only one turn. That looks like about the best. Unless we want to come down this... No, that looks even better. They're all zeros. And now how do we get around this thing? I'm not at all happy with that 6. I will blow up that. Sorry, you're in the way. I'm half tempted to just continue in a straight line. Yep, Mossvale, you die. Sorry. Oof, those 4s are not acceptable. Can we not escape the 4s somehow? No. No, we cannot. That looks relatively tolerable. And then... yeah, something like that can probably... Try over by the lake. You want to cross over here? No, that looks horrible. Nah. I'd rather live with an extra turn or two. Okay. That's about perfect. Done. You need everything. We're gonna need some sanding and water, no doubt. I think 2 more. Yeah, that's about right. Alright. Next step. Bendigo Express. Now connects to Sydney instead. Whole 240 loads between Sydney and Melbourne. You're currently heading to Bendigo, so do Wagga Wagga after that instead. I wouldn't mind one that starts at Wagga End. And you know what? We will shell out for the Melbourne to Sydney expresses to be Iron Dukes. One from either end. One from either end. You are high priority. No, come on. I need the... You're fine. So are you. This one. Instead, I want you to haul alcohol end to end. And sugar back. Same for you. No, not you. Come on, there should have been one more. Oh, maybe I missed it. Let's go. Now, how can we get alcohol to be produced by you? There is no reasonable nearby grain. There is some somewhat acceptably nearby produce. 2 of them when we got the cash. Good. And then we're gonna need like 3 or 4 Americans just hauling single alcohols across. We've learnt about refrigerators. The blue train looks like it's slowing the one after it. Shouldn't be. They should be the same weight. 70 and 75. Near enough the same weight. They won't slow each other down to any meaningful extent. And the lighter one's in the front there. The lighter one isn't in the front here. So this one will be ever so slightly slowing down this one. We should change back to Fuel Man now that we've built our tracks. But he's not available. Sucks to be us. Has been robbed by the AFL. The Australian Football League has robbed our train. I wonder how they did that. Please wait for at least half. Same on your end. Yeah, emus. Emus are pretty nasty, and cassowaries are even worse. Cassowaries only know 2 feelings: anger and revenge. It might be the Australian Freedom League. Okay, it's probably time to send the next squad of these. Not quite. Also not quite. Come on, but these are halfway. I want to send 2 sets at a time. An anti-conscription organization? A bit early for World War One. Looks like we could definitely have a 3rd one of these. Give you a refrigerator. Okay, and there was going to be a bunch of these delivering alcohol end to end. Hopefully these are fast enough they don't slow down those boys. But one of these with 50 is better than... It's actually probably not better than one of these with 75, honestly. So just as well we leave them as non-expresses. Whig Rail hauls 50 loads from country to capital. Goodwill rises, which won't do anything because there's no states to buy access in. So I feel rather confused. Passenger revenue up sounds fine. You did not break down. You're brand new! You win by collecting points on this map, yes. We quite liked the point system for the America map. That was really interesting. And the point system on the SA map that we played. As long as they don't make it too hard to understand how you earn their points, I'm okay with the point system thing. We've read one where it was like, do this, but not this, but this, but not this, and it was just, no, whoosh, sorry, you've made it too ridiculously complicated. And I quite liked the way that on the American one you could technically win without doing, like, what the mission is supposed to be about. In theory, that mission is supposed to be about connecting East and West, but if you just earned enough money in the East, or in the West all by itself, you could still win. This number needs to go up, which it's going to start doing now. The first Melbourne one comes in. Melbourne to Sydney. Ding. The Melbourne rocket. More money than you can poke a stick at. Take that. That's all you can really take. Ooh. Take 2 alcohol instead. Quit exploding! You're well maintained. So where else could we earn points for? It was this place. Is there any food nearby that we can actually give you? No. Something about... Yeah, there was... If we use cotton in over here, we would get 10 bonus points. So we could take the cotton down to... That is true. How heavy is cotton at the moment? Ludicrously heavy, and we've got the money. Let's just pay for the Iron Dukes. And you can turn it into goods that you deliver back to Wagga. Same with you. Beautiful. We maybe create a duplicate of them because it's going to take more than a year for them to do a loop. Done. This might end up... Well, no, it can do passenger, passenger, passenger. Sugar. Beautiful. And the first Wagga Bendigo comes in. Woo, 26. Also, where are you that you've run out of... How? Okay, this just needs sanding water. Done. No, you can have all passengers. Looks good. And we've got the money, we might as well connect out to this. It was going to give us 2 points, so... Shitty bridges. technically connect. There we go. How do you know when to add another station? So if you look here and you see millions of trains waiting and running over the top of each other, like, if you had lots and lots of them waiting to get over the top of each other like we do a little bit here at the moment, see how this guy's waiting because these ones are running over the top of each other? If there's too much of that happening, then it can be worth it to create a second one and have ones coming from one direction go into one and ones coming from the other direction go into the other to split the load between the two stations. Now, sometimes it won't work because you won't quite capture the same things. If two stations both touch the same industry, like at the moment if I built this here, both of these stations would be able to access the distillery, but only the big station could access the sugar. Because the little station's zone of control, the yellow box, doesn't extend over to the port. So if you do build two, in this case I can't get two to be 100% the same. I'd either have to give up on the barracks or the port. I can't squeeze in... Oh no, there we go. I could squeeze in both if I put it there. I'd be losing out on that one house up there. Usually the way it works is once the slower trains, the slow old trains, really care about multiple stations more than the newer trains. Because the newer, faster ones can get out of each other's way. They accelerate fairly quickly. But slow accelerating trains really hate the stopping for each other. Because it takes them forever to get moving again. Do we need a third one of these? Yes. Yes, we do. So, you. And you. I doubt they're ever going to run over to each other here. Seems very unlikely. Really? Oh, this one doesn't quite last all the way to down here. I mean, it doesn't matter because it's downhill. As long as this has a sanding, which it does, we're all good. Did I sell that city? Sorry? I don't understand the question, CK Hawk. You can't really sell individual stations. You can blow them up, and you can sell your whole business by starting another one and buying out, kind of. Oh, did we move the cattle production? We did. We moved the cattle production to inside Swan Hill because you get points for delivering from Swan Hill and you don't get as many points from delivering from rural New South Wales, rural Victoria. If we look at the end of year thingy. Where's Sydney, Swan Hill? 4. Where's the other one of those? Because I'm kind of okay with over-delivering food a bit to Melbourne. I was thinking about building 2 here. Oh, not the city. This. Yes. I was going to sell this because we're no longer delivering at cows. It takes time for it to lose its profitability. Once it hits down to about 0, I will sell this. In fact, it might lose the last of its profitability this year. And this one will be making mad money, so we'll buy that one. Good enough, you can wait for those. It's not going to take long. I said you can wait in the future. Grumble, grumble. Wait. Speed up. Beautiful. Perfect, you're already all stocked up on people. So is Melbourne, it's already departed. Make it a bit smaller so it's a bit quicker. Ballarat ringed by fire. Massive property destruction. Really? No, if anything, I think we've got one more. Wait, it blew up my... It blew up my station! That's a little rude. Oh god, and I have to replan. You go to Ballarat. You go to Ballarat. You need to go to Ballarat. This needs a Swan Hill, Ballarat. So does this. Yeah, please don't delete people's stations like that. If you really want to, send an event that says lose money rather than destroying it. Because it's been just a massive micro pain to have to come and do this. It's not meaningfully increasing the difficulty, it's just a micro pain. Like, it's decent flavor. If there's actually a fire here in that year that there's a matching event. See, like here at the moment is where I could justify 2 stations. We've got 1, 2, 3 trains waiting for the other trains to get out of the way. Like, I could conceivably instead have this come straight down and deliver to a station that touches this, so that all of the these guys don't get in the way of this. And they would also accelerate out faster. Let's go have a look at this. No, it's still making money. It's got another 2 years of profitability in it. Profitability in it, from the looks of it. We get our cotton bonus. Sydney's going well. We've almost used up 10 years. 10 years? That doesn't sound right. Yeah, 15 years. But we're at 28 out of... So we're about to get bronze. Yeah, I think we just speed 5 from here. Max speed, go. Try again, because you're having trouble with mail. So, bronze. Wait, you're supposed to be a... This if you're Melbourne, Sydney. Replace you. Set that you're as important. Go, 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 go. Well, you know how the government are. Since Wig Rail is doing well, the Treasury has taken some money. It's only $500,000. They know you won't miss it. The Treasurer says, thanks, mate. You're welcome. Really do wish they'd quit exploding. Looks like we'll hit silver, but I don't know about gold. I think we've done all the things that it described to us as bonus things. We did this little place. We did the cotton. There's silver. $50. No. I can't reasonably get food there and then back to here. This is already super busy. Either we get it with what we've got, or we don't get it. I don't particularly want to micro that little bit extra for that. $55. The robbery doesn't help. $61. Done. Hello? That should be it. I've won. I have 60 points. Give me my victory condition. Am I debt-free? Yes? No. Okay. Fair enough. Now I am. Yeah! You win the highest honor of Victorian Railways. A brand new train will be named after me. Woo! A train named after little old me. Alright. Nice map. Full of place names that I've been to and visited. Easy enough to understand victory condition with its point system. Well done, Mapmaker. I hope you feel proud.